I know what you're thinking, and I know what you're expecting right now. Why are you suddenly ending the season so quickly? Well, the main thing that happened in between the previous race in Singapore, or was it Japan? Might have been Japan. I forget. I think it was Japan. Um, my whole audio was completely scuffed. Everything stopped working, and so I had the recording, but there was no audio, so I couldn't edit it for the next few videos. So I took a break and took all that video and shrunk it down to the most important parts. But before we get started with Austin and a rundown of what happened in Austin, please do like and subscribe if you want to see more. And also let me know if you prefer this kind of me commentating over it after the fact. We can do that. We can get that handled. Just let me know. I hope to get out season 4 episode part 1 in like a week's time. So if you're watching this and it's not already out, you know why. But let's get started. So Austin started pretty well. Piastri did get knocked out in Q2, but crucially in Q3, we had a pretty insane thing because on his way out of Q1, things went wrong. He did set a time, but didn't set a time and didn't make it through, which was unfortunate for us. But we did have a very good qualifying too, in terms of Alonso, who topped the time charts, and Piastri unfortunately got knocked out in Q2. But Alonso went on to getting pole position. Alonso got pole position in Austin, which basically meant he was probably gonna win the race, right? Piastri coming from a lot of back-to-back points finishes in the last few races, so we are expecting him to actually perform very well. We put Piastri on a potential 2-stop, and or a 3-stop, but and Alonso was gonna go on a 1-stop or 2-stop, depending on safety cars, how it goes, if we can do some good tire saving and whatnot. But Piastri did do a 3-stop, unlike the rest of the field, who was on a 2-stop, meaning that Piastri was on soft tires in the last few laps, which do die out very quickly, and managed to get a faltering Alonso and overtake him and finish P5 ahead of Alonso for the second time this season, which was incredible. So we got a P5 and 6 with Piastri even getting the fastest lap, which is amazing. Piastri got the fastest lap as well in the meantime. And that moves us on to Mexico. We had a few upgrades for Mexico, but we are mostly focusing on getting continuous upgrades. And in terms of Drivers' Championship, Piastri did make some dent in the full in the drivers and the constructors. Constructors, we are way clear of Ferrari and P2, and we are way too far from everyone else. There was only 3 points between Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri in his debut season, mind you, so don't get me that mistaken. Now, a changeable conditions in Mexico quali meant that we were able to kind of capitalize very well, and for the first time in this season, Oscar Piastri beat out Alonso in Q3 to get P3 and P4 respectively. So Piastri got P3, Alonso got P4. And in the race, we had a very botched pit stop strategy for Piastri, which meant that Piastri got P8. That was my fault, but Alonso did secure a P4 with a Sainz who absolutely went ballistic on everyone else. And so we did still get points, and Piastri has consistently been getting points at this rate, which is great to know. Right? That's incredibly handy to know that everything is going well. But Leclerc is now 12 points ahead, which is a very difficult margin to gap. That is a win and a 7th place. It's difficult, but I think Piastri can do it. Piastri can do it. In the meantime, we're keeping on getting money coming in, and going into Brazil, our car was the best car on the grid by far in the slow speed and the medium speed corners. So Piastri makes it into P4, but we did take engine penalties. Unnecessary engine penalties, but we did take them. So Alonso P2, Piastri P3 in quali, and Leclerc was on pole, which is not great for Piastri's race at all. But Alonso had been held up in terms of the whole race, during the whole race. And our entire strategy, we played around with the strategies, trying to get them both on the best strategy we could. But in the race itself, Alonso was absolutely dominant on that one stop. Piastri was on a 2-stop and made this an absolute incredible run where he led the race for a large quantity of the race and finished in P2 with the fastest lap, one place behind Alonso, beating out Leclerc. So he beat out Leclerc, but Leclerc was fighting him all the way to the end, where Leclerc did get P3. So the margin we could have made on everyone else was not as huge. But Piastri, again, showing that this rookie in his first season in a front-running car, mind you, has been scoring consistent points. We could have expected him to be out of this a long time ago, but he wasn't. He was absolutely where he needed to be. And with that, a 1-2, I think this might have been the first or second 1-2 of the whole season. And Oscar Piastri has now started showing pace going into the final race, and Abu Dhabi would absolutely be our undoing. In Q1, Piastri makes it out of Q1, but crucially, on his in-lap, Piastri DNFs. Something happens during his first run, and he crashes out, which causes him to make it into Q2, but not be able to do a run. Similar to what happened this season, in the 2020 season, with, I think it was Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin in the IRL season. And Alonso kept going, was very dominant through all 3 qualifying sessions, proving that there isn't really any way for him to lose this whatsoever, topping every single session Alonso went on to not only take pole, but win his final race with the team. Because yes, we are going to be getting rid of Alonso for 2024. What was 2025? Anyway, fourth season. And Piastri, unfortunately, after a very struggling race, barely missing out on the point, got pipped at the line by Carlos Sainz, who was continuously following us through this entire ordeal, and ended up becoming fourth in his debut season, ahead of the likes of Sergio Perez, the thriving Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri team. Alonso came in P7, not too far back, and with that, let's not forget, Season 4 is coming. Season 4 is underway as we speak, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out, and GG's.